things dramatically worse. And that's been summed up, I think, most, although certainly Jennifer highlights some critical areas as well. But I think the decision to surge tens of thousands of additional troops into the quagmire that is Afghanistan, when his own vice president, no liberal, Joe Biden, and when the U.S. diplomatic forces on the ground in Afghanistan said, this is madness, don't do it, and yet he went ahead and did it. The fact of the matter is, and the truth, look, it's true. Listening to Jennifer, it's a bummer, right? I mean, there's nothing happy. You know, thank you for the Howard Zinn quote at the end, but it's a bummer. And yet, if we look at these policies with our eyes wide open, we have to accept that what's going on here, be it Republican, Democrat, whatever, however you want to say it, the fact of the matter is that what's going on in Afghanistan is absolute madness. It's not neoconservatism, neoliberalism, it's not left, it's not right, it is just insane. And the fact of the matter is, our troops should be out of that country immediately. No slow withdrawal. No American soldier should be an occupier of another land, period. A couple of basic premises here. I will not go on for long because I know that we have indeed reached the point in the evening where everything has been said, but not everyone has said it yet. And I realize that as the last speaker, there are great dangers in trying to add to such a wise discussion. But I will tell you that this is a forum on Obama and the left. I'm not particularly interested in Obama. I am very interested in the left. And I think that the left must always stick to basic premises. No matter who is in the White House, Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, and those basic premises are not radical concepts. They're simple American concepts. Howard Zinn would tell you that James Madison was right. A very imperfect man, but James Madison was right when he said that war is the true wet nurse of executive aggrandizement. That in a time of war, power will go to the presidency, the most distant official from the people, and that there is no way that in a time of perpetual warfare, liberty can survive. War is the enemy of liberty. This country has been in a so-called war on terror now for 9 years. We have no end in sight. That is perpetual war, the perpetual war that our founders warned us against. It is the responsibility of the left to say, stop. Bring the troops home from Afghanistan. Bring them home from Iraq. Shut down the military-industrial complex, because this is not about Iraq and Afghanistan. They have suffered. But the fact of the matter is, America suffers when it is an occupier. We are not a democracy. We are not a free land when we are taking away democracy and freedom from others. Bring the troops home. And George Mason, the author of the Bill of Rights, was right. He was correct when he said that no power in the Constitution of the United States is more important than the power to impeach those who hold positions of authority over us. Because if we cede the power to remove those in positions of authority at any time during their tenure, we make them monarchs, not our subjects, not our servants. The American Congress and the American people failed the Republic when we did not impeach George Bush and Dick Cheney. They were lawless and we cannot lie to ourselves. It has been revealed that Timothy Geithner conspired with AIG to avoid responsibility and accountability for one of the largest banking institutions in the Republic. He lied during his confirmation hearings. He has manipulated the office of Secretary of the Treasury to benefit the banks and to harm the workers and the broader population of the United States. Timothy Geithner should be impeached and removed from office, and so should Ben Bernanke. The bankers should be removed. They should not be given another term by the Senate. The Senate's vote this week to extend Bernanke's tenure for another 4 years. A Democratic-controlled Senate's vote to say that George Bush's chief economic advisor should remain in charge of our economy is complete insanity. And the fact of the matter is that any senator who voted to keep Geithner, who voted to put Geithner in his position, who voted to keep Bernanke in his position, does not deserve to be in his or her office. I am very happy that Russ Feingold voted against giving Bernanke another chance. And let me finally say that Thomas Jefferson was right. Thomas Jefferson was right when he said that no process is more threatening to American liberty and democracy than the amalgamation of political power by corporations. The Supreme Court's decision in the case of Citizens United versus FEC was a fundamentally lawless decision made by an activist court seeking to create a political result. It is the culmination of more than a century of accumulation of political power by corporations, and it is the essential wake-up call for Americans to realize that we can no longer accept a politics defined by corporations and by economic elites. It is time to amend the Constitution of the United States to say not merely that corporations cannot dominate our politics, but to say clearly what the courts have not had the courage or the wisdom to recognize, that corporations are not human beings. Corporations do not have the rights of human beings. They have a responsibility to human beings. Their responsibility is to pay their taxes. Their responsibility is to assure that they do not despoil our environment. Their responsibility is to treat workers generously and fairly. And when they fail to do so, it is the responsibility of the government and the people to say, no more. You do not rule us. We govern you. The people first, corporations last. Now we gather tonight to talk for a couple minutes about Obama and the left. As I said before, I'm not that concerned about Obama. The fact of the matter is that we live in a president-obsessed country, and it is a sickness. We assume that presidents matter. If Barack Obama has not confirmed that they don't matter, I don't know who or what will. Because the Obama presidency, which has so frustrated so many people, is a confirmation of the fact that whoever you put into this position in a depoliticized, de-ideologized moment will give you the same result. Gore Vidal had a wonderful line. He said, go to the inaugural. If the president says, I'm slashing the military budget by 50%, bringing all the troops home, and regulating and taxing corporations at an appropriate level, then you know something interesting is going to happen over the next 4 years.